Welcome to the Inside Texas Football YouTube channel, powered by InsideTexas.com. I'm Joe Cook, got Justin Wells with me, and if we are popping up at a random time, that means it's great news. And that great news, five-star wide receiver Kaliq Lockett from Saxe High School has committed to the Texas Longhorns. Did so at a ceremony today at Saxe High School. You're not bilocating, Justin. You are at Saxe right now. We had this ready to go, awaiting Lockett's decision, and this is a big win for Texas over Texas A&M, over LSU, over Florida State, over Alabama. They get a five-star wide receiver, the number 17 overall prospect in the On3 industry ranking, to commit the Longhorns over those list of suitors and jumpstart even the Longhorns 2025 wide receiver class.
Yeah, if you're gonna, this is their first five-star of the cycle, and that's a pretty big deal on August 7th. But you know what? This kid's earned it. We talk about it a lot, but going from no stars and no offers to where he's at now is just shows the perseverance and the work ethic of Kaliq Lockett. This kid, 6'2", about 185, just a really polished, refined receiver. Really good in his routes, very good technically, incredible hands. He looks. You can tell the guy has worked and trained at that position because he's not just trying to out athlete people. This guy is he's a craftsman, so to speak, and on top of it, he's a great kid. This is a really good program take. This is a culture take in advance. Also, this is an outside guy, and we know for Sark's offense to really work, you got to have that vertical threat. You got to have a guy that can go on the outside. And I think Lockett's going to be able to add that. And so this is a big day for Texas and for Chris Jackson. They get their first five-star receiver in the mix. Now they're squarely in the hunt for Jamie French, who's going to announce later in August. And don't forget, Kaliq and Jamie talk on a very regular basis. They're all close to KJ Lacey. And so Texas bringing Lockett in right now, hey, Get one of your top receiver prospects before the season starts. That's what I always say.
We talked about this on our live stream yesterday, and I still wish I could find the picture, but I can't find it. But Kaliq Lockett has visited Texas for some time. I think it may have been in maybe the 2022 junior day cycle. He made a visit, and I'm like, oh, there's someone from Saxe. Oh, he's a wide receiver. Maybe he's the next Devin Duvernay. It didn't play out exactly like that because you look at Devin Duvernay and you look at Kaliq Lockett, and they have very different games. But hey, five-star wide receiver, Saxe High School, committing to Texas. There's some similarities, at least as far as that goes, and that kind of goes to show that Steve Sarkisian, Chris Jackson, and any wide receiver coach who is at Texas, but primarily Chris Jackson at this point, has put in a lot of effort to get Kaliq Lockett. Now they have him, a prospect with tremendous body control, tremendous soft skills, I think is the word, and the right amount of outstanding athleticism, as you can see him blowing by a guy right there that Steve Sarkisian's looking for at the wide receiver position.
Yeah, Lockett, he fits the profile, I think, for a Sark and a Chris Jackson type of guy. And don't forget it, Texas had three guys drafted wide receivers in the last NFL draft. That matters. But I think ultimately with Kaliq, it was the relationship. Like, he had always grown up in Texas. If you talk to his dad, I remember in April during those scrimmage Saturdays, got to catch up with his dad. You could tell those guys were big Texas fans. But I think Kaliq wanted Texas to earn it. I think he was always kind of loving on the Longhorns, but he wanted to make sure. And then all these other schools started really loving on him: Alabama, LSU, Florida State, Texas A&M. So they made it a battle, and I think that actually gave Kaliq confidence. But ultimately, Texas was there early. They had the early evaluation. They established that relationship really soon. Like you said, this guy's been on campus for almost 3 years before he made this decision, and so that just shows you got to water that plant, man. You got to put that seed in the dirt, and you've got to build that bond and those connections, because you just don't know how long it's going to be until those things start to bloom. And today, that flower came out with Kaliq Lockett being a nice, pretty burnt orange.
Before we continue on, got to make sure we give some love to our sponsor, And our sponsor today is Andre the Lawyer. Andre the Lawyer has been helping injured Texans throughout the state of Texas for a long time Inside Texas member, a proud Longhorn. Andre the Lawyer will provide you with a direct line of contact to the team so that you can contact your lawyer all day and all night, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, whether you're in a car wreck, a slip and fall, an on-the-job injury, or involved in a wrongful death. Give Andre the Lawyer the call, 214-444-8808, 214-444-8808. Justin, you and I were talking a little bit off air, and I like the way that you put it. It would have been a surprise to a lot of people maybe 6 months ago if Kaliq Lockett was the first wide receiver in the class. And it took some, twists and turns when looking at guys like DeCorian Moore and Kelshawn Johnson. But now here he is. And hey, if your guy who starts the class is a top 20 prospect in the nation, a top 10 player in Texas, yeah, it took a circuitous path to get here, but what a start to the Longhorns wide receiver class Kaliq Lockett is.
I mean, that's as good as it gets, and again, you got to understand Kaliq is so, grounded and level-headed because he had to work to get here. Don't believe the hype. He's not out athleting people. He had to work at his craft to get better. But yeah, in January, it was all DeCorian Moore show. That's every, and we were as guilty as anybody, Joe, because we knew what that recruitment was going to entail. We had a pretty good idea of how it was going to go. We didn't know how the ending was going to be, but you know what? That's why you got to read the entire book. But man, if you ask Texas fans today, they're ecstatic with Kaliq Lockett, and you should be. You said it, he's a top 20 kid in the nation. If that's your first receiver, and you're on the hook for another top 25, top 30 receiver in Jamie French, that's how you build a class. And look, I think Sark is very good about weeding out potential portal guys and potential malcontents, because in the NIL era, you got to really smell and sniff some of these players and these parents and these recruitments, because NIL will take these in a whole different direction. With Kaliq, I think it's so much more simplified. I think he found a place he loved. I think he's found a place that he knows he can grow and develop and become a better man, a better person, and eventually potentially play in the NFL. And so you just got to tip your cap. Yeah, this wasn't the sexy name in January, but when you start seeing some of the clips of this kid his senior year, Texas fans like him already. You're going to absolutely love him. He is just phenomenal to watch in and out of games. Like I said, a lot of these really good wide receivers in high school, they just out-athlete the DBs a lot of time. They just overpower them, run by them. Kaliq does a little bit of everything. This guy is incredibly technically sound. And he's going to have, to me, he's going to be an early enrollee, which he'll be on campus by January. And he's the kind of guy that will come in some ways college ready, because of how well he does play that position and understands that position, and the need for Sark to find a few more of those outside receivers for this offense moving forward.
We know they like Ryan Wingo. I bet they will also
love Ryan Wingo.
Love Ryan Wingo. They'll love Kaliq Lockett as well. We appreciate all you for watching this video. Make sure that you like this video, subscribe to our channel, help us on our push to 10,000 subscribers before the season starts. We appreciate all of you who have been along for the ride already. But if you're just now finding us, discovering us, give us a like, give us a subscription. We bring it every single day, and we will throughout the season as well. But also make sure you head to InsideTexas.com for the latest practice reports as we go through the off-season, preseason training camp, and recruiting updates, because we got more 5-star decisions to track throughout the month of August. Thank you to our friend, Andre the Lawyer. Go ahead and give him a call, 214-444-8808. Justin, thank you. We'll see you next time on the Inside Texas Football YouTube channel, powered by InsideTexas.com.